Approvals in Microsoft Teams is a great way to streamline all of your approval requests in one place rather than jumping around to several different applications. From Microsoft Teams, you will be able to create new approvals, view ones that others have sent to you, and see the status of all of your previous approvals all in one place. To get started with the Approvals app, you can pin it to your left-hand navigation rail in Teams. If your organization has loaded it into the More Apps section, you can click on the three dots, right-click on Approvals, and select Pin. If you don't see it in the More Apps section, you can go to Apps at the bottom of the page and search for Approvals. And then from there, you can open the Approvals app. Now that we are in the Approvals app, let's take a look at the different things that we can do from here. There are different ways that you can use the Approvals app. You can create a new approval directly from within the app, or you can create approvals in chats, channels, or even from a SharePoint list using Power Automate. The first thing that I'm going to demonstrate is how to create an approval directly from the Approvals app. Navigate to the top right-hand corner of the screen and click on New Approval Request. Depending on how your organization has set up your Approvals app, you may or may not see the option for templates. So we're going to stick with a basic new request. First, you need to give the request a name. One of the common reasons I use a request is to ask my supervisor to approve a news item that I have written. Next, I need to enter my supervisor's name in the Approver section. When you start typing in this field, it will search the global address list, otherwise known as the GAL. If you enter multiple names in the Approvers field, you will see that a toggle button turns on to let you decide whether or not you should require a response from all recipients. Next, I'm going to enter some information in the Additional Details field. I find this to be useful so that you can provide context to the approvers about what you're asking them to look at. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that you have additional options, such as adding an attachment. In this example, I might have wanted to upload the news item that I wrote, either from my OneDrive or from my computer. You can also create custom responses. The default options are Approve, Reject, or Reassign. Where I work, it's unusual for my boss to either approve or reject outright. Normally, she'll either approve a news item or ask for additional edits, so I can update the responses to include her preferences. With that request submitted, I have logged in as the supervisor and navigated to the Approvals app. Keep in mind that I am using a demonstration account, so it is not normal for your employees to see the approvals you have in your queue. As the supervisor, I will locate the item that needs to be reviewed, and a floating dialog box will open. You can see the title of the request, the details, and a comments box. If an attachment was included, then Jessica would see that as well. In this scenario, we're going to pretend that she read it from her email, and now she's giving me her feedback. And then she's going to make her approval choice. In this case, it is See Edits. Once she clicks on that button, the response is submitted, and you can see that the status updated from requested to See Edits. This is considered the final status for this one approval. Now I have navigated back to my account, and as the requester, I can see that the final status is See Edits and know what I need to do next. You can also create an approval from a chat message. So I have started a chat with my supervisor, Jessica, and if you look at the bottom of the screen where it says Type New Message, there's a toolbar, and you will select Approvals. The same floating dialog box appears, and you will simply fill in the information. Remember, a moment ago I said that See Edits was the final status of the first approval. Now that I've made the updates to my news item, I need to start a brand new approval, which I've done here in this chat. So I'm going to fill in all the information, and when I click Send, it will trigger another approval action for the supervisor to approve. Now let's navigate to my testing team and go to the planning channel. If you click on New Conversation, you can do the same thing as we just demonstrated in the chat. As I quickly create another approval request, I hope that it's becoming clear that no matter where you start the approval, whether it's directly from the Approvals app, in a chat, or in a conversation, the steps are going to be the same. So far, we have been looking at simple approvals in Microsoft Teams. If you need a more robust approval structure, such as multiple layers of approvals, you would need to do that using Power Automate. So for example, I created a flow based on this vacation approval SharePoint list. And what this basically does is it lets the employee type in their name, their days they want to take vacation, use the people picker column to get their supervisor's email address, and type in any comments. I'm going to go to office.com, select Power Automate, and then select My Flows. And I will give you a quick overview of this flow. If you want to see the full video about how I created it, there is a card up above as well as the link to the video in the description below. The flow will begin when a person enters a new request for vacation on the SharePoint list I just showed you. Then I added a start and wait for approval action to send an approval notification to the supervisor. And then I added a condition control that looks for the outcome of the approval, and if it is equal to approve, then Power Automate will go down the if yes side of the flow and send an email to the requester letting them know the status of their vacation request and then update the SharePoint list. If the status is not equal to approved, it'll go down the no side and send them an email and update the SharePoint list saying that the request is rejected. The thing that I would like you to remember about the discussion we're having today on approvals is that this flow will send the approval request to the Approvals app in Teams, making it much easier to manage your approvals all in one place. If you would like to learn more about Power Automate, see the playlist on the screen now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.